Hi and welcome to Bella Barista. My name's Marco and I'd like to guide you through the Lelit Bianca. It now comes in 4 different colourways, and the Lelit Bianca came out in 2018, so 6 years ago, and it's been through various versions in that time. So it's now in its 3rd version, and there's not really much to say that's already been said about the Bianca on the internet. And I can't even say this is a review. This is more kind of like a celebration to the Lelit Bianca. We feel this is a true reference point machine. So everything over the last few years is always going to be compared to what is a dual boiler machine. And we class this as a kind of a mid to high prosumer machine. So a real coffee enthusiast machine. But I don't want to scare people. There's lots of people we've sold this to, and other non-coffee enthusiasts have also used this machine at home very easily. So without further ado, I'm just going to dive into some of the features that have made the Bianca really great. One of the first things is its footprint. So if you wanted just to use it with a reservoir tank, which is totally fine with, or you can plumb it in, the reservoir tank itself is actually swappable, so you can move it around either side. So depending on where it fits in the kitchen, you've got that great flexibility of moving the reservoir tank. So that's one great feature this machine has. And if you decide to plumb the machine in, you can actually detach the reservoir tank completely, and this then becomes one of the smallest dual boiler E61 group head machines on the market. I'll get into those few bits of detail later on in the video. Another great feature with the Bianca is it just comes packed with lots of accessories. You get lovely handles, portafilter handles that are wooden, a bottomless one. They come with real high grade IMS baskets. You have the flow valve as standard, which is normally an extra feature on a lot of machines. You also get a kind of competition grade shower screen, and there's just lots of extra bits and accessories that we'll also go into later on. But another thing that you'll see is quite striking is the wood kit that you also get on all the different versions. This gold stroke cream limited edition Bianca has the Zebrano wood. The stainless steel has the lovely walnut finish, and behind me the white and the black Biancas have the maple wood finish as standard. So this is the current setup and the different colourways of the Bianca. Now, a few little things to mention. The stainless steel has this nice curved bevel-edged kind of drip tray, and they've modified it with the other Biancas in the range with a kind of edge-to-edge drip tray that you'll notice now. So they kind of say it's more of a larger working area. You've also got with the machine an insulated steam wand, which is really nice. So it's cool to the touch. Even when you're steaming your milk, you can still hold the steam wand. You can obviously also do the same for your hot water as well. But going back to a previous point, a dual boiler, this machine can do both temperatures at the same time. It has a 1.5 litre steam boiler, and it has a 0.8 brew boiler. So you can make your espresso and steam at the same time really easily. Other great features with the Bianca is it's got a dual gauge steam and pump pressure on display, and you can see here that the steam sitting between 1 and 1.5 bar. It's giving you a good accurate reading, and also when the pump is engaged you'll get a reading anywhere between 9 and 10 bar. Another nice touch with the Bianca is on the bottom on the right hand side you can actually adjust your pump pressure as well to suit, so you don't actually have to get inside the machine and tweak it. It's actually something you can do with like an adjustable spanner. We also have, as a close-up here, the LCC, that's what Bianca or Lelits like to call their software, a lovely LED display, which we'll go into in a little bit more detail, but it's giving you a reading of your temperature at any time, and also as soon as you lift the lever it will go into a shot timer as well, which is really handy. Another great feature with the Lelit Bianca is with the reservoir tank, on the handles, we've got these little measuring notches where once you change the filter, you can then have a tiny little reminder of the days and the weeks on the top of the reservoir tank to remind you when the filter needs changing. Another thing I like to do with these videos now is like a tail of the tape, just to give you some dimensions, and we'll go with the width. So this is an approximate, roughly 29 centimeters in the width. The depth, kind of without the reservoir tank, just to give you an idea, is 40 centimeters. With the reservoir tank, it's about 49. So it will fit on any standard kitchen worktop. And the height, you're kind of looking at around about approximately 38 centimeters. Okay, the Lelit Bianca, it's packed with accessories. You get a really smart 58.5mm tamper, so that's great with bottomless handles because it allows you to tamp really edge to edge, so it avoids side channeling. You get a scoop, a group head brush, a filter that you can fit into your reservoir tank. You also get the swept, or the double spout handle, as they call it, the swept back one. You've got IMS grade baskets, that's your double basket. You have a blanking disc to do your back flushes with, which is your daily maintenance. You get a barista towel, you get a bit of Pulicaf cleaner, you get your metal braided hose, and also a pipe for your waste. And obviously in the UK, we supply the kettle leader, a 240 volt UK plug. So yes, this comes with lots of accessories on the Lelit Bianca. The Lelit Bianca is built around the E61 group head. This is a time-honoured professional group head that's been around since 1961, year of an eclipse, by Famer. And it's about 4 kilos of brass. And usually in most of the machines, most of these prosumer machines we sell, this roughly takes 25 minutes to heat up. However, the Lelit Bianca has a fast heat up mode on this, so it heats up a little bit quicker. But when it is up to temperature, this group head is very stable. So whenever you walk up to it to make a coffee, it's going to give you that consistency that you've probably been craving in a really good coffee machine at home. And when this group head came out, it was some real game changers at the time. One of them was, as we've got a cutaway here, a pre-infusion chamber. So when you start to move the brew group, it releases a little bit of water that touches the coffee at a low pressure and leads to a really good extraction. Before, coffee machines had a tendency to like scorch or shock the coffee at a higher pressure. You've got a exhaust valve here, so it releases a lot of the water, excess water as well. You've got your mushroom at the top, which we'll move on to with a flow valve. But how this group head works is in a thermosiphon system, where the water's coming into the boiler, heating it up, and coming back out into a cycle like this. So this is one of the reasons why it takes a little bit longer to heat up, but when it's there, it was very stable. And Lelit added the flow valve, which is a needle valve, to this part of the group head that allows you to restrict the flow of the water to then do more enhanced kind of extractions. As the extraction of the coffee is happening, you can increase or decrease the flow rate. So yes, the Lelit, in essence and at heart, is built around the E61, which has been a fantastic group head for many, many years, and enhanced it with this flow valve. The Lelit Bianca also has a silent rotary pump, which also leads to kind of more responsive extractions with the flow valve as well. But the rotary pump basically means it allows you to plumb the machine in like a washing machine, or you can also have it on res tank mode. But the rotary pump generally tends to have a lovely hum instead of a pulse like you get on most vibration pump machines. The Lelit Bianca comes packed with features in its software. I would say you can just use this machine at home as a normal coffee machine and make great espressos, and it can brew and steam at the same time, and you'll produce fantastic, delicious, lovely clarity, lovely sweet tasting coffees. However, this machine is kind of a machine that you can buy once and it future-proofs you, because there's so many extra things you can do with the machine itself. One of them is the flow profile, the paddle, but also you've got extra settings inside the LCC software on the Lelit Bianca. You've got a sleep timer. You have a pre-infusion where you can set for a certain time the amount of pre-infusion, how many seconds you want it to soft pre-infuse during the extraction. You've then got on the V3 model a low flow. So for the first few seconds, however long you set it for, it can again start with a low pressure, and then also during the end of the extraction you can again decrease the pressure as well. So you get a lovely pre-infusion at the beginning, and towards the end it will then kind of go into a low pressure mode. So you can really program shots and tailor them to your needs. I'll go back into the menu again, go past the pre-infusion, the low profile. You've got a new feature which is offset with the V3 had. So that's a little bit harder to explain, but essentially you can change the temperature in the boiler. And normally with the E61 group head, it's when the water touches it from the boiler, it loses about 10 degrees, and that's an offset. But you've even got the ability to change the offset temperature of what the boiler actually is and the water that's coming out. So yeah, if you have any questions on the offset, you can always email and give us a call, where we can happily go through those extra features that it has. We'll go through the menu again: pre-infusion, low profile, the offset, and this is where you can just change your brew and your steam boiler temperatures, your steam boiler actually on or off when the machine starts, the sleep timer, degrees C. So it's packed full of features on the PID on the Lelit Bianca V3. So you can use it as a standard machine, but there's also lots of tweaks that you can do at a later date. One of the features, and probably my favourite part of this machine that I want to talk about in a little bit more detail, is the flow paddle. And it's inspired by another machine called the Slayer, which we're going to move on and you can see shortly. But this restricts the flow of the water and the pressure. So as the espresso is extracting, you can change the flow, and a longer pre-infusion where you can maybe draw out more sweetness, and towards the end you can knock the paddle back so it's a lower flow, so you avoid some of the more astringent acids and some of that bitterness. So you can really tailor the shot as the espresso is extracting with this paddle. Okay, this seems a little weird that we've moved to the Slayer. We've still got the Biancas in the background. I hope you can pick up on that, but it does kind of show like this evolution. We've got a lot to thank for this machine and the Slayer style shot, and using the flow paddle, and how the Lelit Bianca can recreate this Slayer style shot. So think of your 2-to-1 and add a lot longer time on it than your standard 2-to-1 in a roughly 30 seconds. This is going to be a 2-to-1 shot, starting with 19 grams, but more like 40, maybe 50 seconds in a total extraction time. You go a lot finer, which is something you can do with the Bianca as well. I also need to give a nod to Dan Fellows in the UK for the Slayer style shot as well. So what's happening here is we're in the pre-brew stage, or it's a real low pre-infusion, and it's trying to draw out more of those kind of sweeter acids. And you have a shot mirror here where you can start to see the coffee appear, and we're aiming for 5 to 8 grams in the cup in around 25 to 30 seconds. When we've reached that target, we move to stage 2, which is kind of the full pressure, and you'll see that we're now reaching 9 bar. And again, you want your extraction to play out in a 2-to-1, but again, we're wanting to achieve kind of 25 seconds again. to have that Slayer style shot. So we can achieve this Slayer style shot on the Bianca, and how you do it is with this flow paddle. You kind of start the brew lever, and roughly about here is like a stage 1 on a Slayer, and again you're wanting it to creep up and try to achieve 5 to 8 grams in roughly 25-30 seconds, and then you can move it over to stage 2 for the following 25-30 seconds, and a total time of about 40 to 50 seconds extraction time for this kind of longer style pre-infusion, pre-brew shot. Or you can just have fun with the flow valve as well and find your own way of making a lovely extraction. Okay, this seems a bit odd, but we've dived into the Bella Barista Service Centre because I wanted to show you and give you an insight to the Lelit Bianca. This machine is probably here for a service, and I believe it's a V3, but we've been servicing Lelit Bianca's version 1, 2 and 3 over the last 6 years, and it's just a good way to see the machine, how well put together the machine is. Our technicians really love the reliability of the Lelit Bianca, and often a remark is they say there's just no leaks. So you just always, the machines, when they do come back for service, there's no kind of watermarks. It's all very well put together. And what we've seen over the last 6 years is a very solid, reliable machine, and very occasionally you'll get kind of pieces that sometimes like need replacing, but they're not by Lelit, they're just generic parts. Sometimes the solid state relay over here might need replacing, but on the whole, the reliability, the failure rate is extremely good on Lelit Biancas, and a lot of people in a lot of countries do struggle when they're buying Lelits off the retailer because of that after sales support. So this is one of the reasons people buy from Bella Barista, is because we have our own technicians, our own service centre, and we offer a 2-year back to base warranty. But even outside of the warranty, we have the phone support Monday to Friday 9 to 5, and technicians and just people here on hand for any technical queries that you might have. And we also recommend obviously soft filtered water, but a service like probably what this machine's in for at the moment, every 3 to 4 years as well. So we've done a nice, I'm hoping, a recap on all of the features the Bianca offers, all of the things that's made it great over the last 6 years. And as I said at the start of this video, this isn't really a review, this is really a celebration of the Lelit Bianca. And we're now approaching, we're into the autumn of 2024, and if you are looking for a machine at home that offers you kind of everything and more that you can grow into in a small footprint, in a really good build quality, in any kind of colour that suits you, you really have to strongly consider the Lelit Bianca. It offers unbelievable value. In the stainless steel, it's around about £2,000 including VAT, and it's about £100 more in the different colourways. With the machine itself, out of the box, you kind of have everything you need as well. And just in a nutshell, we just want to give the Lelit Bianca high praise as a true reference point, high-end machine for the home. So there we have it, the Lelit Bianca. And if you've liked this video, enjoyed it, hopefully, please remember to like and subscribe. And also, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below and we'll get back to you.